You call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to power, community. Who you are, let the light shine, here can and we are, you are, welcome to, you are, welcome here. Even new eyes, allowing them pull, embrace and let go, trust the flow. There's a people in love when you follow your heart. Together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yes. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to power, community. Be who you are, let your light shine. There's so much more when you and I. Welcome you are. Welcome you. Breathe in and out slowly. That's around you. All that you need, all that you know. Oh, welcome to love. Welcome to peace. Welcome to our community. Be who you are. Let your light shine. There's so much more when we unite. When we unite.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Grand risings and good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Ocala, this place of life, love, and learning. That's how I always put it for myself, my own little tagline there. And welcome to those online, no matter when you are watching, if you're watching it in real time now or watching it later, welcome, welcome. As we are trickling in, all of us. There it is. I'm getting used to using this. Our mission here, thank you so much to the tech team for always having my back. Our mission here at Center for Spiritual Living Ocala is that we embody and share truth principles and spiritual practices that empower us to awaken to the power and presence that lies within you, all around you, so that we may facilitate spiritual healing and the elevation of our individual and collective consciousness. I know that I would like to be elevated, and I would love that my presence also elevates others. And when Marian Williams said that, I was like, yeah, I want to be a beacon of hope and love in the world. Our vision is that we are a thriving new thought community dedicated to spiritual growth and practice. That's why we come on a Sunday. We come here for our growth. We come here for our practice. We come here for our sharing. We come here for connection, spiritual growth and practice, sacred activism. We come here and get filled up in the station, then we take this out into the world and we be the beacon of hope and love out there with what we do. And it is that transformative love that reveals our interconnectedness and our oneness and that sacred activism. It is the intersection of your consciousness and what you do, the action. It is the place where prayer and service activate love and spiritual principles become lived practice. It is how you wake up in the morning and say, I am God express. How shall God go out there today and make a difference? Sacred activism is how we show up as a beneficial presence in the world. And once we remember who we are and remember who everyone else is, it's so much easier to step in that direction. All right. And our values, if this rings true for you, and that is why you are here, that's why you're coming and connecting with this community, you can say them out loud with me or just say them in your heart. Wholeness of spirit, spiritual and personal growth, collaborative, synergistic community, abundance and prosperity, love and compassion, appreciation and gratitude, peace and balance, power of freedom, diversity and inclusion, generosity. Thank you so much. Diversity and inclusion. Thank you so much. And this next song is by one of those fabulous new thought. I'm sorry, I pressed the button. I just messed with you guys there. What would I do if I knew that I could not pay? If I believed that the wind always fill up my sail, how far would I go? What would I achieve? Trusting the hero in me. If I were brave, I'd walk the race and say, we're birds and dreamers, dead and shut, and never lose faith. Never losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? If I were what would I do today if I were brave? If I were brave, if I were brave today, if I were brave.
What if we're all meant to do what we secretly dream? What would you ask if you knew you could have anything? Like the mighty oak sleeps in the heart of a sea, are there miracles in you and me? If I were brave, I'd walk the razors. If I were brave, today if I were away.
Thank you, joyful noise. Can you hear me? Joyful expression. Sorry, I'm still like years ago, right? So, what would you all do if you were brave today? Once in a while, I feel like just standing up here. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Yes? Am I on? No? It's still not? Okay. Green light's on. They said I'm not. I don't, you can hear me. Now you can hear me. All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So everybody's feeling brave today. I'm brave. I showed up this morning. Sometimes it feels like that, you know. And I know, I don't know how many of you are tapped into what's happening in our world, especially in our country. Things are feeling very heavy. Anybody else feel like that? There's a lot of, just a lot of heaviness. You know, we've had uh, political assassination, another school shooting. I mean, it just goes on and on. And I'm an empath. You know, I'm one of those people that feels everything, and it's really hard for me to shut it off. And so, our conversation today, well, on the surface, it might seem like it's, oh, not that important. You know, we're talking about creativity and our self expression. And so, we're going to talk about music and laughter and things that some people think are just not that important. You know, in schools, those are the first programs we cut out, right? Is music and art and those things because they're extracurricular and they're not necessary, you know? But I think that's wrong. I really feel like that's, you know, that's not the way to go. In fact, in times such as these, when we are in very difficult, challenging times for ourselves personally or whatever, we actually need those things even more. Right? We need to be able to have our ways to just dissipate some of that stress and some of that pain. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Our soul salves, the things that our souls need as medicine so that we have the strength and the resilience to do what's ours to do in the world. And then you plug back in, you take care of yourself, you take care of your body, you take care of your mind, your spirit, your emotions, your soul, and then you can go out there in the world and do what is yours to do. And it'll beat you up, it'll knock you down. Sometimes it'll lift you up, but you can always come back to your safe place within yourself, in your spirit, and do those things that rejuvenate you. So, are we all up for that today? Awesome, awesome. I know, you know, we teach what we need to learn, and I know that I needed it. So that's why we're talking about this today, because it felt just so very important for us during this time that we're in. So to review for last month, I just want to share a little bit to kind of catch us up where we were and sets the context for where we are today. So last month, we talked about practicing radical accountability. And how many of you feel that finger point? When you hear the word accountability, doesn't it feel like somebody's pointing their finger at you? And I don't know, that doesn't feel good to me. Does it feel good to you? No, no. So when I talked about, we're going to talk about accountability, I know some people felt like that, like, oh my gosh, she's going to call us out with this conversation of accountability. But it's not how so many of us have been taught to view and understand accountability. So for us, accountability is not about that finger pointing. It's not about blaming or shaming, right? Or punishing people. It really is about owning our own power as conscious creators. Anybody who knows 12 steps knows that the fourth step is all about doing that moral inventory and making things right. And out of that capacity, we own our power. We reclaim our power to be our biggest, most powerful selves in the world. Does that make sense? And then the other part of that was, this idea of waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? How many of you relate to that? Right? Like we're waiting. Okay, so accountability, something's going to hit me. And in the meantime, we squander our joy waiting for that shoe to drop. So instead, we give ourselves permission. And if you remember, those of you who were here last month, that song, I give myself, anybody else remember permission to be all I can be? I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. All right, how does that feel? That's good, right? Give yourself permission to feel and express your joy. Even in times when it seems like, oh, I feel so bad for what is happening over there. Give yourself permission to be present in your own life and experience the joy that is yours in the moment. Okay, that's why it's important. And so, as I said, I'm an empath and I get really, I can get pulled into stuff very easily. And thankfully, I found this spiritual path that teaches me how to come back to center so I don't stay out spinning in that for too long anymore. Sometimes, if anyone else can relate to that. So I had the great gift of relatives coming to visit. And if you were here last month, you saw my cousins, 4 of them sitting over there, right? And I hadn't seen one of them I hadn't seen in years. That my one of my favorite cousins, she's like my big sister. She came and we just had the best time. And out there on the water, that is my happy place, to be in a kayak, out in nature. And we just had so much fun. We told stories and we laughed and we shared, and it was a great time. And when they left, the next day, I saw the headlines again. And I was reading all of this stuff, and it started to kind of spiral again, but it was like, no, I'm all right. Like, I got this, and I didn't spiral. And I was thinking, wow, that's really pretty cool. It was like all of that joy and laughter and time that we spent together was like, boom, like an inoculation. It was something that gave me that strength that I needed to get through the week, right? So that's why this is important. That's what I'm sharing with you. Feel and express your joy. So there is a quote. You've probably all heard this in some place or another. I know I have said it here many times. A book from Gabrielle Roth, who says, in many shamanic societies, if you came to the shaman or the medicine person talking about being disheartened, dispirited, depressed, they would ask you one of 4 questions. When did you stop dancing? When did you stop singing? When did you stop being enchanted by stories? And when did you stop finding comfort in the sweet territory of silence? And when we stop having fun, when we stop the joy, the laughter, it kills our soul, it kills our spirit, and then we're in that survival mode. And then it's like, survival for what? For what? What's the point of this crazy? I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I've got kids in the room. So dancing, singing, storytelling, and silence are the 4 universal healing salves. And so we started with that, but I added my own to it. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Gospel of Thomas and the Gnostic Gospels. What that is? How many? Raise your hand. I just want to know how many of you know the Gnostic Gospels? A lot of you do. So the Gnostic Gospels were found in 1945 in Egypt. It was 52 writings that were over 1,500 years old from the time of Jesus. And so these were like the books that didn't make the cut. when they did the final, edit and review of what's going to be in the Bible. So it's really interesting stuff if you've not heard it or seen it before. But this is one of the something that is attributed to Jesus in the Gospel of Thomas. And it says, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you don't bring forth will destroy you. Right? We come into this world with purpose, with passions, with gifts. And I think if we don't use them, if we don't give them, right? If we don't, then it's kind of like being pregnant and not being able to give birth, which kills mama and baby, right? So we have to be able to give life to that which is within us that is wanting, expression. And so many of those things bring us joy. So why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? Except we get so caught up in the rat race of life and thinking that it's all got to be about making money and whatever things that keep us distracted from what is ours to do. And so, all that really counts is what's happening within you. Within you is a limited, unborn potential of creativity and substance, and the present experience may be your greatest opportunity to give birth to it. I love this image because it always reminds me of the creative process as we teach it in Centers for Spiritual Living, right? That there is a seed, and the seed is your thought. Seed is your thought. And we put seeds into the ground. Now, does the ground care what kind of seed you put in it? Doesn't care at all. It's going to give you back whatever you put in. So we are responsible for the thought. We put it out into the law, which is like the soil. And then, nature works on it. It gets sunlight, it gets water, it gets fertilizer, and it grows, right? Whatever you plant grows. So I like to think, of fertilizer as that BS, belief systems, whatever you want to call it, right? That stuff that happens to us in our lives, those challenges that we can turn into fertilizer, right? And that fertilizer then makes what we are trying to grow, our seeds, grow that much better, right? So we turn our challenges, we turn our pain into fertilizer. Look at it that way. Look at that BS as some fertilizer for your life, right? That's going to make the things that you want grow that much better, that much stronger. And so, thus, in this, this scenario here, right? Tragedy then becomes a blessing. Disadvantage becomes an advantage, and failure then becomes an opportunity, and disappointment becomes his appointment. Now, I don't like the his part. Okay, I'll just say that. But that's what Eric Butterworth said. That was his frame, right? But you get the point of this, right? That we can turn anything through the power of our thought into something that feeds us. But we have to know, we have to be responsible and accountable for the seeds that we are putting out into the law. Make sense? Okay, great. And so those salves for the soul. And I added laughter, and I put singing and dancing together as music. And storytelling and silence. Okay. So, for how many of you is laughter medicine? Yeah, absolutely, right? It's kind of like, I don't know, I tell you that the time with my cousins was so much fun. We played Cards Against Humanity. I don't know if any of you know that game. Cards Against Humanity. If you don't know the game, I'm not sure you want to, but those of you who know it, we laughing till the tears were coming out. My cousin was like, "You're gonna have to put a towel on the chair because I'm about to pee my pants." But anyway, it's that kind of a release. It really does do that for us, right? It's like it's a shift. It's kind of, like you get to shake it off a little bit, right? So laughter is medicine. And so I just want to share some of the importance of laughter. And as I was looking this up, it was like, wow, that is just so cool. Where is it? Oh, yes, that it evolved before language to bond communities. Think about that. I never really had thought about that. But laughter is pre-verbal. Babies laugh, right? And what does it do, right? When a baby laughs, You feel good. It's a contagious thing. It makes everybody laugh. And laughter is, it knows no language. So, what a beautiful thing, right? That laughter, even our tiny babies are laughing all the way to, whatever age. Laughter is part of, I think, what makes us human. So, it signals safety and belonging. It's part of our social glue, shared laughter, right? It strengthens relationships and, again, gets to like diffuse the conflicts, right? Shake it off. When you have a good laugh with somebody, it just kind of breaks the tension. It also physiologically is doing things to your system. It's why you feel good when you do it, because it's releasing endorphins and dopamine and oxytocin, the feel good hormone. All of that stuff is being secreted into your system when you have a good laugh, especially the ones, you're holding your belly. It's just such a good thing, right? Reduces stress because while it's raising the good hormones, it's lowering the bad ones. And heart and brain health, it improves your circulation, your memory, creative thinking. Also building resilience. Again, I was able to look at the news the next day without having that downward spiral that sometimes happens because I got a little strengthened, right? I had some more resilience. And there you go, reframing resilience, reframing challenges with hope and humility. And then the other thing it does is just dissolve the ego, right? When you laugh when you snort and stuff is coming out of your nose and it's not very dignified. But it's okay. It sure feels good, right? So that's spiritual grace, dissolving the ego and connecting us with our joy. All right. For how many of you is music medicine? Yes, isn't that wonderful? And didn't we have an awesome time last week? How many of you were here last week to experience the drum circle? Right? And that was both. That was the music, right? And it was the movement. It was a great time. I mean, I can't wait to do it again. I feel like we should have a drum circle every Sunday and just get that energy going and have that, that collaborative, a group experience. Although it's also very fun to dance in your house by yourself when no one's looking, right? Anybody else do that? Turn up the music really loud and just dance like a fool, and you don't have to look good for anybody. You don't have to have all the steps right. You just do it for yourself because it feels good, because that's what we need to do for ourselves. It's a gift for ourselves. So music is medicine. We have physical and mental cognitive benefits, right? It's going to, again, reducing stress, just like laughter does. Reduces stress, can relieve your pain, right? Because those endorphins get flowing and you're not hurting as bad. What else do we have there? Neural connections. When you play music, your brain is like rewiring differently, right? Recognizing patterns and things. There's so many great things. There's emotional benefits, release and comfort. It can elevate your mood. Again, decreasing stress, elevating your mood. All of these things are vital for us human beings. We live in our bodies, so we need to take care of them and treat them well, do things that are nurturing to our bodies, and minimize the stress as much as we can. So it can support trauma healing and resilience. There's something about music that's different than even like having somebody talking. They can talk this thing, but there's something that happens when the music and the melody, again, it's probably it doesn't have to do with words or thought. Maybe it's the hertz, the vibration. I don't know what it is. But does music ever bring tears to your eyes? Right? You can sit there and don't even know why. There's just something that happens that opens up inside of us through music. That's what makes it medicine. The spiritual benefits, reconnecting to our authentic selves, creating resonance and harmony, again, the vibration, right? Inviting even transcendent and ecstatic states of communion. If any of you have ever done any type of plant medicine, there's always music that goes with it because it elevates the experience. It takes it to another level, right? So music is, for me, it's a necessity in my life. And again, when I get in that place of like, oh, that sadness again, or whatever, that too much trauma, I need to get out, put my earbuds in, and go out, walk in the woods and listen to some good music, or else play some music. Karaoke night, All of these things are healing for us. Then there's the collective benefits. It builds social bonds through shared music making, breaking down barriers, fostering belonging. There's something also that happens when we come together and sing together, because there is a sound that is created when people come together with different melodies that, again, it's that synergistic experience that the whole is so much greater than the sum of its parts. Right? A song may not sound so good when it's just the soprano or just the bass, but you put all of it together and it becomes magic. And when you are part of that, when you are adding your vibration to that, it is doing all of those wonderful physical benefits, right? Because you're coming into vibration with something that is elevating all of us, right? So, yes, music as medicine. How about storytelling? How about storytelling? Is that fun for anybody else? You like to read them. You like to read them, yes. It's great to hear stories and to tell them. Another just fun thing, sitting around with the cousins, talking about things that common experiences that we had. But, I didn't remember that part, or they didn't remember this other part, or they had a whole different spin on the story than what I did. And you sit together and you hear this, you have this shared experience. It's like, wow, that is so interesting. And my family comes from Puerto Rico on both sides of the family. So in my physiology, right, we have the native people who were conquered, right? We have the slaves who were enslaved, and we have the conquerors, right? It's all of that right here in this one chunky little package. But we have stories in that, and I think that is part of our connection. It's a thing about passing on our hair. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just put it all up here. So the benefits for the individual for storytelling, and I'm going to back up again. We have our Circle Sundays when we come in here, and the invitation is for people to share from their experience. And I know for me, it's a magical experience. I know for those who come and experience it, it also has kind of that feeling of magic a little bit, because it expands everyone's awareness of whatever the thing is that we might be talking about. And I think this is why, because we get to tell our stories. We get to share and we get to hear other people's perspectives and stories. And so it elevates all of us. So there are benefits for the individual, but there are also benefits for the community. And so for the individual, it's a way that we get to process our emotions, right? You turn your pain into something else, or allowing for a release of something that maybe had been suppressed for a while. I know just in sharing some of my stories and then hearing alternate views, it was like, oh, wow, now I can change how I looked at that, right? I can give this story a new meaning. So there you go, reframing difficult experiences into resilience and growth. If your story doesn't suit you, however the story went, it's not over. It's really not over, because you're still here. So you can retell the story. And if it's not there yet, create the story the way you want it to be. How would you like this story to end? And do it that way, right? So that you have the ending to the story that you want it to have. You get to create the meaning. Storytelling builds identity and agency, integrating our life experiences and giving us the power to reclaim our own authorship over our own lives. It is an extension of that idea of accountability, right? The stories that we tell ourselves and the stories that we tell others. And then it fosters empathy in ourselves and with other people. There's also benefits for the community, as I said, building understanding and a sense of belonging. When you hear somebody's story, you feel them. It's like you come into their world more. And it's really hard to dislike or to hate somebody when you know their story. Right? So this is how storytelling builds bridges and helps us to go beyond our differences. It reduces isolation as well. So honoring culture and heritage, like I said, preserving the wisdom and the values. When you sit, grandmas and grandpas, when you sit with your grandkids, it's a great way to share some of that wisdom that you know that you have learned. And then transforming our collective trauma, right? We can reframe our stories and turn ourselves into the heroes of our own journey through our storytelling. And then the last one, silence is medicine. Silence is medicine. How many of you take time on a regular basis to be in the silence? Yeah, you know what? Even if it's just 5 minutes, if that's all you can do for yourself before you fall asleep at night, to just intentionally have that space of silence within your head. And you might not be doing anything, and it might be silent out here, but there's still a whole lot of chatter up in here. That happen to anybody else? Yeah, yeah. So silence in your mind as well as in your outdoors. So the voice of truth is speaking to us every day. That still small voice of our higher power is talking to us all the time. But we have to be able to get quiet enough so that we can hear it and acknowledge it. So while we're not going to do silence, I am going to do a little guided imagery. Are you all up for that? Great, great. So here is the invitation if you want to do this. And of course, everything here is an invitation. You never have to do or have to believe anything that I share from here, right? You take what works for you and you leave the rest. So I just invite you to take a moment, close your eyes if you want to, or just let your gaze go soft and get nice and comfortable in your seat. And take a deep breath, a steady breath in, and a nice release. And take another deep breath in and let it go. And just feel your body being supported by the chair beneath you, your feet grounded, your heart open. And you take another breath. And with each breath that your body is relaxing, your mind is open to imagine. And so take yourself to a beautiful garden, whatever that looks like for you, wherever that is, and the air is fresh. The sun is warm on your skin, and all around you, the earth is alive and rich with possibility. And in your hand, you're holding a seed. It's not just any seed. The seed represents an idea, a dream, or a way of being that's calling to you right now. Take a moment to sense what that seed is holding for you. And now you kneel down and gently press that seed into the soil. That soil that's fertile and ready to receive. Just as the law of life receives every thought, the earth will return to you whatever you planted. Now bring to mind some of the challenges in your life, some of those struggles, frustrations, all that fertilizer that just keeps piling up around you. And just imagine those challenges transforming into fertilizer. And now place that fertilizer around your seed. Feel the shift as you recognize that all of your challenges and difficulties can be transformed into nourishment for growth. And what once felt like a waste becomes food for your soul. Now you water the seed with the practices that sustain you, with laughter, with music, with dancing, with writing, with art, with prayer, with movement, with time and silence. You just water with anything that nourishes you. And see yourself tending to your seed, tending to the plant, shining the light and the warmth of your love and your joy. And so time passes, and before very long, your seed begins to sprout. See those first green shoots reaching for the light, and watch as your plant grows strong, vibrant, and healthy. Now imagine what you have planted being fully grown, blossoming, and bearing fruit. How has it manifested? What does it feel like to stand in its presence, in the presence of your desired manifestation of the dream that you imagined? What fruits of spirit does this offer you and to those around you? Take a moment to receive the gifts of your vision and let those gifts imprint themselves on your heart. And now, as you bring your awareness back to the room, you wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take another deep breath in and release it. And when you're ready, open your eyes, bringing with you the image of your flourishing plant and the reminder that you are the gardener of your soul. Everybody's back. Thank you, Donna, for the harp. I don't do the Bible much, but I do like this, especially in this time. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We all have the capacity to do that. And don't think that it takes, I don't know, what people do to like come back, sweat lodges and craziness, right? That you can just have a good laugh with a friend, right? Put on some music and dance like nobody's watching, right? Come to a drum circle. Spend some time out in the woods or with your plants or whatever that thing is that brings you joy. For some of you, it's writing. We didn't talk about that. That's another whole thing, writing, journaling. Whatever it is that it takes to get this stuff out of your system and move it through so that you can come back to yourself, right? To the joy that you're meant to be. What was that? It is a part of storytelling, absolutely. Yeah, they all go together. They all go together. Ernest Holmes, who's the founder of this movement, said this, and I love the imagery of the children because we don't have to tell kids this stuff, right? We don't have to tell kids any of that. Kids know, the importance of laughter. Kids know about movement and dance and joy and allowing themselves to have a good time. Kids know all that already. So we come back to that. We need to come back to the child that's within ourselves. So there is an irresistible urge and a divine, a universal, irresistible divine urge to be happy, to be whole, and to express the fullness of life. Right? That is the spirit within you, that divinity within us that stirs our imagination. And because of its insistent demand, it has to get out. It has to get out. We have to give it voice. It's behind everything. He says back of every invention. That's a weird way to say it, isn't it? I think, but it's behind everything. It proclaims itself through every creative endeavor. It's produced sages, saints, and saviors, and will when permitted. Thanks, honey. I'm going to try and say it because he didn't have the mic on. When permitted, it will create a new world in which war, poverty, sickness, and famine will have disappeared. And that's the importance of you finding your voice and finding yourself and sharing that and being that, and your innocence and being that in the world. And so, Spirit is flowing. Spirit is flowing. The holy water is flowing here again, as it does. But it's okay, because that needs expression too. All of it needs expression. And we're not here, I'm not here to do the spiritual bypass thing. You know what I mean? You know, there are folks who, oh, it's all good. Oh, it's all God. Oh, I don't let that get to me. I'm in a higher place. Okay, so I'm not always in a higher place. What can I say? Human beings, right? Spiritual beings having a human experience. And sometimes it hurts, and sometimes it sucks, right? And so we just know that that is part of the human journey. And so we find our ways to allow that to move through our system so that we can get back to our joy. Yes. And so this is an affirmation for you to use, this week if you choose to do that. And it's very simple. And I'm going to say it first, and then I'm going to invite you to say it with me if you feel like it. Spirit flows in, through, and as me, renewing, restoring, and reminding me of my wholeness. Breathe that in. And now say it along with me. Spirit flows in, through, and as me, renewing, restoring, and reminding me of my one. And so it is, and so it is. All right. And so, sure.
This comes from the book club with Reverend Peggy, Roger Teal's book,
Mm-hmm.
and I forget what you call it, like, is everybody here nuts? That means never underestimating the spirit.
All right. Never underestimating the spirit. I love it. Love it. Thank you. And so our joyful noise is joyful expressions. Have a good laugh at my expense. All right. Our joyful expressions is, yes.
We're the noise and we're also the music. So we sing, we dance, we do all of it. We express it all.
We express all of it.
Singing, so that's why it's now expression.
Well, they're going away on a big journey next week all together.
Thank you guys very
Yes.
much for all your help with the fundraising and monies that we raise so that we can go to Positive Music in Kansas City next Sunday.
And linking with others doing this kind of work. So we're excited. And we had Diana last week. She's going with us.
Yeah.
CSL Center.
Sarasota, yeah.
Culture Coast. So it's going to be exciting.
And Amy Steinberg with us.
And Amy's hanging out with us too. So
Yeah. So it's going to be lots of music and storytelling, and they're going to come back and share with us, right? Absolutely.
here we grow, y'all.
Every life, every day is a hero's journey. Every life, every day is a hero's journey. Listen to the sound. Can you hear the message? Listen to the sound, beckoning to you, safe passage. Every life, every day is a hero's journey. Every life, every day is a hero's journey. Listen to the sound. Can you hear the message? Listen to the sound, beckoning to you, safe passage. Run at the walls in front of you and watch them disappear, and know that there is something greater here. Walk through the fire that's ahead of you. Look directly into view and trust the voice that's whispering in your ear. Every life, every day is a hero's journey. Every life, every day is a hero's journey. Listen to the sound. Can you hear the message? Listen to the sound, beckoning to you, safe passage. Start up the mountain looming over you. Feel the crumble away. Revel in the sun that lights your way. Jump into love with all your might. Feel love burning bright and let it get you through your darkest night. Start up the mountain looming over you. Feel it crumble away. Revel in the sun that lights your way. Jump into love with all your might. Feel love burning bright and let it get you through your darkest night. Every life, every day is a hero's journey. Every life, every day is a hero's journey. Listen to the sound. Can you hear the message? Listen to the sound, beckoning to you, safe passage. Every life, every day is a hero's journey. Every life, every day is a hero's journey. Listen to the sound. Can you hear the message? Listen to the sound, beckoning to you, safe passage. Every life, every day is a hero's journey. 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 Listen to the sound. Can you hear the message? Listen to the sound.
Thank you, Joyful Expressions. Have an awesome, awesome time. What did I do with the clicker? Thank you. All right. Now we get an opportunity to celebrate our abundance, right? And our generosity. We are a generous community. No, we are. We are. And just so you know, the giving of this community is what keeps everything going, everything, right? The lights, the internet, the paying your minister, all of that good stuff, right? The flooring, right? Everything, the TVs, everything. And we are a self-contained community, right? We are part of a movement that is really much larger. But everything that happens here is supported by the people that are here, right? So we just appreciate you and love you, all of the gifts. And know that whatever gift you give, it's like the seed that you plant and it grows and it multiplies. So whatever it is that you need in your life that you would like more of, you make that a seed and you give it and it comes back. So if money is a thing, give money. Give money. It's like a seed that will come back to you. If it's friendship, you want friendship. If you're lonely, you give friendship and it will come back to you. Everything we give comes back, pressed down and multiplied, right? And so this is our affirmation. I invite you to say it along with me. It is the nature of life to give of itself, as it is the tree's nature to bear fruit and the flower's nature to bloom. It is my nature to share the gifts of my time, talent, and treasure. I participate in the divine flow of life, giving generously and receiving abundantly. I am blessed and I am a blessing. I am grateful. And so it is. And so it is. All righty. And so Pam and Aaron have the basket that's going around. And I think we have a couple of first time visitors, right? I didn't acknowledge you when you came in today, but welcome to our space, our first time visitor. You want to raise your hand if you want to. And just make sure they get a little extra love, right? That they know what we're about here at Center for Spiritual Living Ocala. And so the ladies there, Pam and Aaron, have the basket going around. That's not just for contributions, but for prayer requests. So if there's anything happening in your life that is feeling a little bit challenging, you would like a little extra prayer support, please fill out a request. And myself and Donna and Norma and Reverend Peggy will be praying on those throughout the week. And we know that prayer, right? Prayer works. So there are also other ways to give. You don't have to give if you don't have cash or your card, although we do have a place for you to give with credit card. You can also text to tithe. And what happens with that is you put the number in your phone, your smartphone, and once it is programmed into your phone, you just send the amount that you want to send and it goes right from your account to ours. And it is a beautiful thing. And that number is 352-320-5110. And you receive, that's right, you get a receipt immediately. It's a whole lot easier for us to keep track of too. That's really the best way. Yeah, Zelle is super easy too. Yes, thank you, Norma. All right, so let's take a moment to pray, and you be careful. And so as I pray over what has been giving for our donations as well as all of our prayer requests, I just give thanks. I give thanks for all the beautiful souls that make this place, Center for Spiritual Living Ocala, their spiritual home. For all of you who are my spiritual family, I just give thanks. And I pray and affirm that as we each go into our respective weeks, our respective lives this week, that each and every one has all of the inner and outer resources needed to meet their life challenges. And I affirm that each one of us is like that seed that is just continuing to grow and flourish and share its gifts with the world. And so I'm grateful for the generosity of this community. I'm grateful for all those who give of their time, talent, and treasure. And I am just grateful for this teaching and this movement and the light and love that we are in this world. And I release these words with joy and gratitude. And so it is. All righty. So what else? Ooh, wrong way. Ways to Give. The Science of Mind magazine is out in the vestibule for those of you who want it. For anybody who's not aware, that is the publication that's put out by Centers for Spiritual Living, the Science of Mind magazine, and it has affirmations for every day of the month, and it's a 2-month issue. And if you're a first-time visitor, you should have gotten a copy. Our newsletter, I believe it just went out last night. Thank you, Donna. Thank you for and Alore for completing it and getting that out last night. So appreciated. And if you're not receiving it, just let one of us know. So it just kind of gives you an idea of our calendar and what's going on throughout the month. So our events next week is our Circle Sunday. Every week here is something different, especially for our first time people. The first Sunday is some type of practice. It's experiential, so you kind of, you have to be willing to get into it. Second Sunday is this one, and that's where there's somebody speaking, doing a presentation, music. It's more like a traditional service, as close as we get to traditional. And then our third Sunday is Circle Sunday, where we come together and we all start out in a great big circle, and we take the topic for the month, and I give a few prompts. And then we split out into small groups, and then we have our little circle conversations around those prompts. So that's what's happening next week. And the week after that, its focus is building the beloved community, a celebration of creativity. And there are 3 people in our community that I want to be on this panel as we're having a discussion because they're super, super creatives. And if you would just raise your hand, Tiffany. Tiffany is one, Amanda is another, and Cole back there, real quiet, real quiet. Y'all don't even know he's here half the time. Yeah. Super amazing creatives, and I can't wait for you all to hear their voices amplified as they talk about how they use their creativity in their world to move through things and to just express and share their gifts because they're all really talented, amazing people. So I'm super excited about that. And we have a fall festival coming up in October. Let's see, we're going to have vendors and concessions, a photo booth. So trunk or treat. I love that. Trunk or treat. Excellent. You want the mic?
Yes, we're looking for some vendors and we have trunk or treat, decorate your cars for the kids, and it would be great. So,
It's going to be
what else?
great.
It's going to be great, that's all.
Do you have a question?
It's 3 to 6. Yes. Yes, it's the whole thing, 3 to 6.
So the whole time.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
It'll be great. Thank you. Okay.
And there are vendors, people that do bakery.
Definitely. I can talk to you afterwards, but yes, that sounds good.
Awesome. So if you're interested in being a vendor, or if you just want to bring your littles, or you just want to come yourself, just
Or your
yourself.
jar of candy or whatever.
There you go. All right. Full kits on Amazon. Oh, okay.
So for those online, there are full kits on Amazon that you can purchase to decorate your vehicle. So that way your trunk can be very inviting and then your treats are in your trunk. So if you want to be somebody that's going to invite all the littles over to come and celebrate your wonderfully decorated vehicle, then you can volunteer that way too. So it's exciting.
So I didn't even know that was a thing. Thank you for clarifying. That makes sense. Y'all know that now?
Trunk or treat.
So the trunk is where all your stuff goes. Duh.
Yeah, you go trunk to
Yes.
trunk and
All
each car
right.
has its own thing.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. Thank you. So many creatives we have here in this place. We have lots of volunteer opportunities for you as well if you want to scan the QR code. There's so many things, I can't even get into all of it. But, whatever your talent, your skill is, if you enjoy doing administrative work, we're looking for someone to help us with our newsletter. If you like to do graphic design, if you love to be out in the garden, if you love to organize, I mean, we can make use of all of those talents. If you're a bookkeeper, whoo, that's a great one. Yes, a bookkeeper would be lovely. So just see myself or who else? Or yes, any of us with our
We'll
hands
point
up
you.
there. Volunteer coordinator. Okay,
I have a couple more.
go ahead.
All right, so in speaking about how we do sacred activism in our world, where is Miss Cindy?
That's Cindy.
Hey girl, hey. She made me aware of this. There is at the library free events, y'all. She brought magazines in, they're over there, free events. But there is in celebration of our Hispanic Heritage Month, there is a tango class coming up on Thursday, September 18th. It's at noon. And we want people to know that you can learn. You can come on in and do tango. There's another one Thursday, October 9th, and it's salsa. So it's here in the magazine. These are free events in our community that is celebrating all of us. So I think it'd be fun for us to go out together and just be in support of those awesome things that our library is doing. And for those who have families and littles, the library's always got stuff, y'all. Always.
Excellent. And movement, right? Opportunities for
Movement.
movement. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
don't
yes.
think of it as dance, think of it as movement.
Movement. All right, we get to bless our children now. Do the little ones want to come up? I know at least a few of them do, right? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, let it shine, shine. It's like day. Shine, shine. You know you want to. Shine, shine. All right. And then we say, we like to do this. We rub our hands together and we send the love, right? So that's our little affirmation. We have them all over. We got them all over. So, all right.
We say it together.
We honor you. We see your light. May it shine on all that you do. And so it is. And so it is. Our inner child. I'm going to shine it all out to all of you. We honor you. We see your light. May it shine on all that you do. So it is. So it is. All right. All right. They were so good. I'm going to ask that we do something that we have not done here in a very long time, and that is to do the peace song. Do enough of you know the peace song? Yeah, to stand up? Can we all stand up? And maybe form a circle or to hold hands somehow. Just make sure you're holding somebody's hand. Big circle if we can. That would be beautiful. And so we get to experience collective music, right? All of our voices as we sing. All right, you ready? Okay. Everybody in the circle. Everybody's part of this wholeness. And we start. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
So it is.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Have a fabulous week. Woo.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.